We watched Julian Sayin on this channel a couple weeks ago after the Minnesota game. In that video, I said this Ohio State roster is so good that they don't need Julian Sayin as a redshirt freshman to light the world on fire. Just drive the car at an even speed, and this Ohio State team's good enough to win a national championship in 25. Well, since then, Julian Sayin's not only been driving the car, he's put it into hyperspeed. This game against Wisconsin played lights out. So we're going to take a look at some of the top throws from that game. I apologize for some of the video quality. It is what it is. We'll just deal with it. But I like this side-by-side view because, to me, Julian Sayin's best trait is the anticipation that he throws with. This kind of lets us see it when he's throwing these receivers out of breaks. The timing and the anticipation. So a lot of quarterbacks, they talk about the top quarterbacks in every draft. They talk about the arm velocity on the short to intermediate throws, how they fit the ball into tight windows. Well, I don't think I've seen Julian Sayin really fit a ball into a tight window all season because the ball comes out so goddamn quick that there is no tight window. You know, the window's wide open. These receivers, Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith, sometimes they're catching these balls when they're wide open. Part of it's because they're all world players. You know, Jeremiah Smith, 6-star coming out of Shamadan Madonna a couple years ago. Carnell Tate going to be a first rounder this upcoming draft. Part of it's because of that. Another part's because of how fast that Julian Sayin gets the ball out. These dudes are wide open when they catch it. The defense just doesn't have enough time to react. How fast Julian Sayin just flies through his progressions. I really like the way that Julian Sayin's just been getting the ball out. Another thing, on some of these deep shots, they're throwing these balls on 1st and 10 because Sayin's doing a good job hitting them when they're there and then doing a good job not taking the shots when they're not there. You know, throughout the course of the game, we're not going to see that in this highlight tape video. He passes on a lot of deep balls and he hits checkdowns, and that just makes play calling so easy because all of a sudden, instead of 2nd and 10, you're calling 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5. Your playbook's wide open. This is a beautiful throw to Carnell Tate. He's having a great season. He's going to be a first rounder. There's no doubt in April way that he's been playing, but just take a look at this ball here. The touch on this is a great throw by Sayin. Another thing, Sayin's only been sacked 3 times all of 2025. The Ohio State offensive line certainly deserves credit for that, but the way that Julian Sayin manipulates the pocket, look at the way he just kind of glides to his left, doesn't really make a football move. He still has a base to deliver an accurate ball downfield. This is a beautiful throw. Even better catch by Carnell Tate on that one. Julian Sayin on the run. You know, we saw this against Minnesota, how accurate this dude is when he doesn't have a base. Take a look at where this ball lands to Carnell Tate again. This is fit right between this corner and this safety here, and it looks like cover 2, you know, without seeing everything. Just where everybody is. Beautiful throw by Julian Sayin, and this next one is probably my favorite throw on this whole highlight tape. First, the anticipation that's thrown with. Like, you just take a look at the side-by-side, how fast this ball comes out. You see this receiver's just turning his head when Julian Sayin decides to throw the ball, and then look at where this ball lands. This is out of bounds. This is almost 2 yards out of bounds. This is a beautiful ball here. A lot of quarterbacks, the dudes with the big arm, they don't try to layer this kind of throw. You know, this ball's when they try to fit this into a tight window, they trust their arm strength too much, and all of a sudden this linebacker or whatever, this safety gets under it because it's on a straight line. The way that Sayin's thrown with touch downfield, you know, we saw it on some of these deep bombs, and this is just a beautiful throw to the sideline this time. Yeah, I really like the way that he's just been, you know, watching Ohio State's offense, you know, watching the whole game. It's just like it's jab, 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 and then Sayin can throw a bomb when it's there. But, you know, the running game hasn't even been great. So, honestly, like, you know, I said Julian Sayin just had to drive the car. The way that the running backs have been playing, you know, not that they haven't been playing well, it just hasn't really been there yet. I really think Sayin's been stepping up on these screens especially because those are extensions of the run games. You take a look at the entire Ohio State game, the amount of screens that they throw, Sayin's been really good in that. And that's, you know, kind of that extension of the run game. And Julian Sayin's been so good. I have a first-round grade on him already in 2027. If you want to check out we-draft.com and leave your own opinion on other Ohio State players, you know, Arvell Reese is a guy that's been really shooting up draft boards. Please check that website out. Thanks for watching.